when you look at someone like Usyk, who's the current heavyweight champion, you're now occupying his previous division, the cruiserweight champion division. You look at someone like him. I don't think he'd be much bigger than you.
No, he's not too much bigger. I reckon he's maybe an inch, half an inch.
Yeah.
When you're a boxer, you know, when you go somewhere, you're sizing everyone up all the time.
All the time.
You're like, oh, how am I gonna, you know, approach that? How am I gonna beat him? How am I gonna, you know, what I've got to do? So I've met him a few times, and you know, I've stood next to him. So there's a way to beat him.
Well, that's very interesting. As a fighter, you are actually sizing them up. I mean, not in an aggressive way, but you're thinking to yourself, if I have to jump in with this bloke, you know, I'm sort of just getting his shape. I'm understanding. Sure. I'm sort of profiling him, sort of thing. With your brain, you're profiling the guy. Yeah. Do you feel confident about it? You know, like and you obviously watch his fights. That's different. That's a style. You watch his style, but just in terms of his physicality, when you meet him, you think to yourself, "Yeah, I reckon. Like, I don't feel overpowered. I feel like, you know, I might be a chance here."
Definitely. I feel like everyone's beatable. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, you train right, you prepare properly, and, you know, I just feel like everyone's beatable, man.
Yeah, that's a pretty positive mindset. I mean, how do you grow a positive mindset? Because you're a pretty you're a pretty shy guy. Like, you're not one of those cocky guys who's out there carrying on. You're not a Conor McGregor style person in terms of, you know, like up front. How do you develop your positive mindset about like that type of positive mindset?
Boxing's what I do. You know, boxing's honestly like it's like a religion to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I've grown up in the sport. I've fought people all over the world. It's like another language to me. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's just a way to beat everyone, and I feel like because I've done it for my whole life, I just feel like I got to find out that way to beat him, and I can do it. You know what I mean? I got to sort of execute what's right and wrong, minimal mistakes, and then I personally feel like I can just beat everyone if I fight smart. But if you don't fight smart and you make one mistake, you're gone.
Because it only takes one punch.
One punch. Yeah,
and it could be just a bit of a careless error. You've got to be on. Who else is left in your division now that you would like to aim up against? Your last win was pretty convincing. Where to from here?
Man, I'm chasing belts. You know, There's a Mexican guy, Ramirez, that I really want to fight.
What belts do he hold?
He's got the WBO and the WBA.
So you've got the IBF and you've got the Ring Magazine.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're chasing WBO, WBA. That would be next.
I want that WBO, you know. And then there's a WBC who I think he's an African fellow who's got that. So, man, honestly, I'm not like chasing fighters. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even watch these fighters unless I have to. You know what I mean? I the only fighters I watch is if I'm learning off someone, you know, that I'm adding to my game. I don't really watch people just for the fun of it, because I live the sport. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. So when I'm at home, I just like to relax. Like, otherwise, when I'm watching boxing, I'm thinking about it too much. I'm like, fuck, I should be at the gym, you know. So
you start obsessing.
Yeah, seriously, that's what it is. I always say it's a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean? That same sort of thing that can make you, you know, that drives you and pushes you, can also can do it too much, or, you know, you can shift it the wrong way or something like that. So
I watched you at Luna Park many years ago. Long time ago.
You were there, right?
Yeah, I went with Jeff, and I look at yours, and you know the old saying, styles win fights. Your style now compared to then, and I used to think to myself, this kid, when I watched you that night, this kid could do anything. I sort of think you were only pretty young then. It must be like 7, 8 years ago when you fought at Luna Park, and but I thought you just didn't give. I felt like you're cruising. Yeah, I thought it was too easy for you. How have you changed your style? and what was it that sort of got you to say, hang on, I could be world champion. I am world champion. What changed your style? Who changed your style?
I wouldn't, to be honest, I wouldn't say it's changed my style. It's just I adapt to what I need to adapt to. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what makes me, that's what separates good from great in the ring. Is it's not how good you are at one style. It's being able to adapt to someone who's a heavy puncher, being able to adapt to someone that's a fast puncher, a counter puncher. It's adapting in the ring, like even all these game plans and stuff like that, like going in with a game plan, like, yeah, we go in with like a little game plan and we work on certain punches that we feel like are going to land more, but man, we just perfect the craft, minimum mistakes is what our main focus is.
So you train not to lose, in other words, by something stupid. So would you say you're you're working on your defense, or you just make sure you stay? That could be distance, that could be anything. But is that something that's really important to you? And then you come for the kill when it's time to come for the kill.
It's just a balance of everything, It's
no one thing in particular.
Yeah, there's not one thing in particular, Like you look at my last fight, we punched on, like there was no backward step. The fight before that, the guy didn't even touch me, and I boxed his ears off. So it's like you need to be able to do what needs to be done, and I feel like the key to it all is strength and fitness. Like you need to be able to adapt to any style you need to, but if you're not fit enough to do it, then that's when shit goes out the window.
Yeah, that's interesting. We were talking about Jeff Fenech, probably one of the fittest fighters ever in history, according to Johnny Lewis anyway. Fitness is a big deal. Can you give us a sense of when you are in your training, when you're in camp, for example, what can be a 12-week period? We're talking about, let's say you got a fight coming up in 3 months. Would you start your fight camp 3 months out? Or I know you're always training, but like when do you start getting serious?
Man, we'll stay active. We sort of stay fit and we keep our body moving. But as soon as they give me the call, as soon as they call me, well, when we train, we train. You know what I mean? Like we don't go through the motions. Like we chase pain. You know what I mean? Like you got to train smart when you're training hard like that. Otherwise, your body, you know what I mean? You need to be on top of your recovery. I'm lucky I got good people around me, like I got a great performance coach, Mark Matthew. I got my boxing coach, Taps. I got my assistant coach, Carey. And as a team, they, if it's too early and they see me going too hard, they give me a week, go fishing for a week or something, go, because otherwise it just drives. And you know what I mean? They try not to burn me out, but man, honestly, man, I don't have the special recipe for you. You know what I mean? We just show up every day and we try our best.